In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the parking brake shoes on this Cadillac Escalade. Let's get into it. We're going to remove the center cap. Just use a rag and a screwdriver or a pry bar. Just pop this off. Using a 22mm socket, we'll take the lug nuts off. And remove the wheel. Now we're going to remove the caliper. I'm going to use a 17mm socket and an 18mm wrench. Loosen up the caliper bolts. Just grab the caliper, rock it back and forth, and it slides right off. Now we're going to use a caliper hanger and just hang it out of the way. Make sure there's no tension on the hose. Take the brake pads off, slide those out. If you need to, you can use a screwdriver, pry those out. Now we'll take these two caliper bracket bolts out, use an 18mm socket. Loosen those up, take those out. And slide the bracket right off. Now we're going to remove the rotor. If it's stuck on there, you want to take a hammer and hit in these locations. Be careful of the studs. You don't want to hit the studs. And also you could thread a couple bolts in there to help pry the rotor forward. Just slide that off. We're going to take this bolt out right here for the bracket. There is two brackets, but we don't have to take both of them off. We use an 8mm socket. That bolt out. There's the bracket. Now using a couple pry bars, we're just going to pry this out. Try to get it off where the adjuster is. And I still have the other bracket in there, and that's okay. Just get it past the other bracket. And one side, it's going to fold over here. And then you just kind of work it off. It might take a little effort to get that off of there, but after figuring it out a little bit, it comes off pretty easy. Now we're going to take the adjuster apart. Just pull this top part out. There's a pin on this side. You can pull that pin out right there. You want to clean these off. There should be grease on there. Put some fresh grease on here. You can slide the pin back in place. Goes right in the center, and with the grease it should stick in the middle. And then on the cap, just do the same, put some grease on it. It's good. Go over the pin. We'll do the same on this side. This is where the adjuster is. You're going to have a little clip. Take that clip off, and then this should spin, and you can see how it adjusts out. If it doesn't, then you're going to need to replace this side of it or free it up so that it does spin. And you can do the same, clean this up, put some grease on it. Put the bracket back on and slide it in place. I am going to take a wire brush and just clean this up a little bit. There is some corrosion on there, just a little, it doesn't take much. Take the shoes, and we're going to slide this on the same way as before. Just go over like that. You're going to find that spot. Just push it over like that. Now you want to get this side in where the clip is. And then get that side in right there. Push that in. And you can pop this on. You can use a pry bar if you need to. Make sure that's all lined up. That looks good. Now we can put the other clip in. Now put this clip in, line the bolt up. Tighten it down. Just snug, not too tight. And you can move these around a little bit. That's where you can make your adjustments. When you go to put the rotor on, you can tighten this up, moving one direction or loosening it up in the other direction, just with a screwdriver. Clean up the hub surface. Put a thin coat of anti-seize just on the hub surface. Make sure you don't get it on the studs. This is just going to prevent corrosion. Take the rotor, slide it on. If it seems like the brake shoes aren't really contacting too much, you want to slide this off and adjust this up a little bit. Okay, so that's a little bit too tight. Pull it off and make it looser. Now slide the bracket on. Use a little thread lock adhesive on the bolts. Get the bolts started. I'm going to torque these bolts to 122 foot-pounds. We're going to put the brake pads on now. For the pad with the warning indicator, that's going to go on the inboard side, so the inside, and it's going to go to the top. So that one goes on there. And this one doesn't have any warning indicator, that's going to go on the outside. Using a caliper compressing tool, we want to compress the piston for the caliper. You're going to do this nice and slow. Get that lined up. As you're doing this, it's pushing the piston in, pushing the fluid through the lines back up into the master cylinder reservoir. Just go nice and slow. Once you're all the way down, take the tool out and take the hanger off the caliper, slide it over the brake pads. Take the two bolts, get those started. Torque these to 28 foot-pounds. Put the wheel on. And the lug nuts. We're going to torque the lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. go around again, double check. Take the center cap. On the back, you can see where the valve stem lines up. I'll line that up. Should be right there. Yeah, just like that. Lock it down. After that, make sure you pump the brake pedal and also check the fluid level under the hood.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.